Hi everyone, my name is Ruby Powers, and today we're going to be talking about estate planning and what your family needs to know, what you need to know. And this is such an important topic. I think about how in Houston we know that we get hurricanes and flooding, so we have to have a plan, right? And it's better that we have the generator, we have the water saved up, we have those things planned, the food stocked up, right? And because if we didn't, it would be pretty messy. It would be very uncomfortable for our family and going through that experience. So I sort of look at like that. The more we have a plan in place for something we know is going to happen, the easier it is for our family and for your wishes to be adhered to, and for your assets to pass on to who you want them to be passed on to, and your wishes to be adhered to. So let's go ahead and walk through this. And I think if you have a better idea of like what are some of the documents that are important, then it sort of demystifies this whole area. So my name is Ruby Powers. I'm board certified in immigration. I have experience with estate planning from a lot of watching a lot through my family over the 15 plus years of seeing how to and how not to do things, and having a lot of clients that have been building up their assets and want to have a plan in case there's an emergency or for the next generation, has made us decide to add estate planning to our list of services. And so this is a passion project of mine, and I share my stories, my experience, and my desire to help others go through this process. So what is estate planning? We're going to go through why it's important in the different forms that are key documents that are important to have on hand, and have some real life story scenarios, explain what our services are and next steps. So estate planning is a set of legal documents that can explain things from what happens to your assets and belongings when you pass away, to who takes care of your children if you're not able to, and also your medical and financial decisions that if you become incapacitated and you need someone else to act on your behalf, if it's whether temporarily or more long term. This also can help avoid prolonged time in probate court and delays with the people you love. And this is for all individuals, regardless of their financial situation, because if they say intestate, which is if you die intestate means you die without a will, it can cause a lot of complications, and things you never would have thought would be a problem can be a problem that you leave for your friends and family, unfortunately. So it's better to have a plan in place. So there's 5 key documents, if you will, and there can be more, but this is sort of the big picture idea. So there's the will. Can be everything from what to do with your belongings and what your last will and testament, basically what you would like to happen. A trust can protect assets, you can put some assets and funds there, and can also help maintain privacy. And this can have a lot of different benefits as well. And third is advance directive. So this is really more about your medical advance directive and what your wishes are if you are in a medical situation. Do you want them to resuscitate you? Do you want to donate your organs? Those types of things. And also to give power to a relative or a family, someone to speak on your behalf. There's also power of attorney. So this is more for like finances and legal matters. And this can be used like with banks, for example, or other entities. And then the guardianship plan, which is more specifically to children and those you care for and dependents. So let's just do a brief overview of each one. A will states who receives your assets after you pass, names a guardian for minor children, appoints an executor to carry out your wishes. So this is someone that you trust, that you've communicated with, that you've given guidance, so that they understand what you want to happen, and only takes effect upon death. That's why the power of attorney is also something that can be used when you're still alive for certain matters. But this one takes effect upon death. Without a will, the Texas law decides who gets your assets, A judge, not you, gets to pick who raises your children. Probate process is public, slow, and expensive. And really can be difficult and different depending on where the beneficiaries live, how many beneficiaries, do they get along, those types of things. So it can get messy pretty quickly. Family disputes become more likely, and your long-term partner may receive nothing depending on your relationship and how things were laid out. Basically, bottom line, have a will. And if you do have a will, make sure you double check it every once in a while to make sure it does adhere to your wishes. Trust. So this can help a legal arrangement where assets are managed for your beneficiaries. This can avoid probate because it'll directly go to the trust. It protects beneficiaries, ideal for minor children, special needs family members, or complex situations. It can still be working while you're alive, and it doesn't have to. Unlike a will, a living trust activates immediately and continues after death, and it keeps things private so that not everyone has to know what you're doing and what's inside the trust. It is a lot more private. The advanced directive, this is where you're talking about documents for your medical wishes. If you cannot speak, name someone to take your health decisions for you. The HIPAA authorization lets family access your medical records. You could have a medical advance directive, but if they don't have the right form for the hospital or the medical facility that you're at, sometimes they want you to fill out a special form on top of that. But usually, a power of attorney with a certain advance directives will be suffice for those. And even just the fact that you had that conversation is very valuable, because these are difficult conversations. Having gone through them with my grandmas and my mom and dad, you want to take advantage of the time when everyone's clear-headed and calm, when everyone's in the best situation they could be, because you never know when people's health will deteriorate and they might not be in the right mind to make these decisions. So it's better to have them discussed. And just sharing from some of my experiences with my dad who passed away was that he just was avoiding a lot of these types of conversations. And so when I think about the will and the medical power of attorney type of thing. So, but I think as his health was starting to further deteriorate, he was sharing a little bit more. He realized that his end was coming, that he was more willing to start giving us answers to these things. The power of attorney, and the fourth document we're talking about, grants authority to manage your finances and legal matters. You don't know when you might need this, but it's better to have it than not have it. Sort of like how I think about with my dad, like we didn't know when it was like his last time he was going to speak, or the last time he was going to, if he could think clearly. And to have some of these things to be able to handle some of the end of life type of situations before he passed away, this helped us. And so this can help avoid costly proceedings, can be limited abroad, and you can indicate what matters you want the individual to be in charge of. And then guardianship planning, I mean, this is really tough because people, you don't want to think about you not being around to raise your children, but you do need to have those conversations. And just as a parent of youngish children, minors, I remember having a will before, and a medical power of attorney and all that before I gave birth to my first child. And then the need to update it over time when we had more children and more assets and things like that. But also the people that you want to appoint to take care of your children, they might be getting older and maybe life situations that they're not the best individual to care for your children. So you need to think about this on a regular basis. Like, do you need to update the guardianship planning? But this designates who will care for your minor children if something were to happen, covers planning for elderly parents and family members with disabilities. And without it, a Texas judge could decide if it may not be who you choose. So, like I was mentioning, you should review your plan at a lot of times that are big moments in life, like a marriage or divorce, major changes in assets, like maybe you received inheritance, moving to a new state, a new child or a grandchild, death of a beneficiary, or new laws affecting your plan. And so just to share some stories, I, being the lawyer in the family, it was usually asked upon me to help prepare or to be give advice on these types of things. And what I realized is that the more that you really research this and have these documents in place, the more it gives you peace in mind knowing that you've done this. And again, I'm mentioning my dad, but I'm so grateful that we had done the documents that we did. It was about maybe 3 to 4 years before he passed away that we had had his will and medical power of attorney, and it really assisted us in taking care of him from afar because he was in another state. But that allowed us to be able to help him when it was being difficult for him to be able to do things on his own. And this is also there's so much to say because even just in going through this process, it also helps make you organize your assets. How many bank accounts do you have? Who's the beneficiary on these bank accounts? Do you have any life insurance policies? What do you own? If something were to happen to you unexpectedly, and we hear these stories all the time, but I think we all sort of want to ignore them. What who will get what, and or will it no one get it, and it'll have to be probated and take a while because you didn't designate a beneficiary or have a will, or have these documents in order. So this is just a reminder that these are really important documents to have at a very bare minimum. You don't need to have a trust, but a will and the guardianship if your children are minor, or you have children with disabilities or someone you care for in that capacity, and also the power of attorney are sort of some of the medical power of attorney, some of the very minimums that you should have. So here at Powers Law Group, we can assist you. We're also fully bilingual in Spanish, and have experience in this field to be able to give you the care for you and the planning for your family. And and even where we're helping individuals too, maybe immigrants or mixed status homes where individuals are concerned about possible deportation, being able to have documents in place to be able to assist in transitioning to another country if necessary. So it does go hand in hand, having a plan, having the key documents in place, and being able to minimize the uncertainty that may come from an abrupt event. So thank you so much. Feel free to reach out to us at 713-589-2085. You can check out our website at rubypowerslaw.com. We do have a newsletter in English and Spanish that goes out every other week. And I hope that you take this to heart and make a schedule a consultation, whether with us or someone else, to make a plan for your future. Thank you.